Hello, everyone. Welcome to Little Meatballs Nursery. I'm Sandra. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back if you're returning. So, guys, I kind of feel like you're at a weird angle there, but we'll just fix you up, won't we? Won't we, Clark? I have Clark with me today. He's over here. So how was everybody's weekend? Mine went, I don't know. It kind of went slow, but it kind of went fast. The kids had a 4-day weekend. Now, again, like I said in my last video, I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why. They just had, they had off Thursday, Friday, and then of course Saturday and Sunday. So we did, decorate some more for the holidays. The kids were doing their own thing with their videos and making their little short things with their figures. And, we did have some family time. I wouldn't say much this weekend, though. I think everybody was kind of doing their own thing. We made muffins and we did some drawing, of course, again, and Danny with his art and stuff like that. But I think for the most part, honestly, it was kind of like a very like dreary weekend because it was raining all weekend. The weather, and it's still kind of yucky out today. Not as yucky as it's been all weekend, but we got a lot of heavy rain and it was dark, all day long. So everybody was kind of like pajama day, except me. I don't ever just stay in my pajamas. It may take me a little while longer, like to get up and move in and then go and shower and, get dressed and put my makeup on and all stuff like that. Now, I don't do like all this, if I'm not doing a video. I'll do, just basic, a little mascara, some blush and lip gloss, and that's it. And of course my eyebrows. I can't go without eyebrows. So, and then we watched movies. Like last night, me and Jason watched the John Candy documentary. And oh my gosh, guys, if you haven't watched it yet, you gotta watch it. If you love John Candy, or even if you didn't, please go watch it. It's so heartwarming, and I think it was a really beautiful thing to see, especially all that's going on right now, in the world. It was like a refreshing kind of just to show you what kind-hearted people look like. He was kind soul. He was beautiful, really. Now, funny story, kind we have a number of things to do today. I have box openings, package openings, happy mail. I have some kind of upsetting, sad news, but turned happy. So we're just going to go over everything today, okay? But let me tell you. So I think I've told you this before, but for newcomers, or whoever, missed that video, whatever. Me and my husband went on our honeymoon in Lake George, New York. And when we were up there, we were going through the souvenir shops and stuff like that, the gift shops. And so we went in this one gift shop, and it was kind of at nighttime. We went in the gift shop, and we were looking through the aisles, and we noticed that the guy that worked at the register was kind of like staring at us. He was kind of moving his head, looking. And it was just weird. It was just kind of weird. But okay, whatever. We got what we wanted to get. I think we got some like saltwater taffy. Love those. So, and some other little things, trinkets, So we get up to the register, and the guy, I don't think he spoke English or full English anyway, but he had like this little notepad and a pen. And when we went to pay for the stuff, he's like trying to give it to Jason. And Jason's like, he was weirded out at first. He's like, why is he, giving me the pen? I'm supposed to pay him. Why is he giving? So Jason looks at me. He's like, I don't need that. He's like, autograph. I'm like, what? And we were kind of stunned and weird and shocked, all the same time. We were weirded out, So he says, you, John Candy. And he thought my husband, he thought Jason was John Candy, and he was trying to get his autograph. And we had to try to explain to him that no, no. Meanwhile, we had, there was a couple other people in the store, and they were like turning their heads, looking at us and stuff. We were like, no, he's not John Candy. I wish he would have. Wish he had his money. No. But, it was just it was an experience, okay? But back then, when me and my husband were first dating and got married and stuff, he was, way heavier than he is now. He had gastric bypass surgery like over, I want to say about 16 years ago. So, and he's kept all the weight off. Well, most of it. Um, but so yeah, back then he was, he had that look about him, and he was young, and I think he just looked like a young John Candy, and he did. He had his features and his frame and stuff like that. So I could see how somebody may initially, think that back then. But it was just so funny. It was a really cool experience, kind of a scary one a little bit, because the guy was kind of pushing the envelope, and we were like, what do we do? What are we supposed to do here? But it was fun. It's just a fun memory, and seeing that documentary last night, it kind of, have your tissues ready, guys, because it is sad, but it's happy. And his friends that speak in the documentary, make it light and just light and funny. And especially like Bill Murray, of course, he's a funny guy to begin with. Dan Aykroyd, and just Eugene Levy. There were so many people that I didn't even realize that they had all known each other and basically grew up together, in the comedy field like that. So I thought it's really cool to watch. Very interesting. So go check that out. It's on Prime Video, I believe. So we watched that last night. What else? We've been watching, what did we watch the night before? Some Christmas movie. I can't think of what it was, though. I think The Grinch, I want to say. I don't remember. I don't know. But we did a bunch of, stuff like that, and cards, of course, and checkers, and all the regular things. But again, it was rainy and shitty out, and like you just feel lazy. Like you just don't. So I'm glad that was on the weekend, because, I need motivation for these videos. I really do. I need to but listen, I knew I was doing this Monday video. Like, I knew Friday that I was doing it. So I was, preparing myself for it. I couldn't wait to get on here. Couldn't wait to come see you guys. So I'm here. Hello. I'm here, darlings. I'm here with my gingerbread. So Gingy's going to keep me company. I do have my little headband handy over here, which I may put it on when I open, show you, because I do have a couple of Christmas gifts for the kids here that I wanted to share with you guys that came in the mail on the weekend. But, again, I love it. I do love it, and it's adorable. But, Christina, so you see what I'm saying? You see what I mean? The pink, you see the pink, the red, I don't know, it just doesn't, maybe if it was all green, I think. But then the red throws me off. I know, everybody's probably like, it's just a headband, Sandra. But, I like to, I don't want to be all mismatched over here, So maybe I'll put it on. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Anyway. So, guys, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? It was raining by you. I know Christina said it was raining yesterday, I think, down in Florida. And I'm sure there was some nicer weather. I know the Northeast had gotten a lot of rain as well, like some kind of storm or something over there. But I'm sure there was a sunny place somewhere over here, right? In the US or Canada or wherever you're watching from. I hope that somebody had a sunny, beautiful weekend. Okay. So let's bring Clark on for a minute. Since you haven't seen him in a while. Now, he is in his Stitch outfit. I don't know if I showed you Clark in this. I know I showed you the outfit itself, but I don't know if I showed you once I dressed him in it. But, because I've been busy with Alice, and that's another story that we're going to get into. We're going to get into that. But first we'll do the fun stuff, and then we'll do that. So Clark wanted to just show off his Stitch outfit. And I left his little, I was going to glue that, but I am no longer, I'll explain it later. Because then I'm going to have to explain the story now, and I really want to do it later. But let's just say I'm no longer using silicone glue. So Clark will remain with the little hole under there, and that's fine. We're going to stay with that. So Clark is going to say goodbye for now. Hi. And he is a 16-inch silicone doll from Amazon. Valence is the brand, and he is the replica sculpt of the Coco Malu by Lisa Marks. And I love that face. That is just, his face is just like he's just looking at you. And he's so cute. Okay. The first big thing, okay, because I have this big thing list. Oh, that's what how could I forget? Oh, hold on one, guys. Hold on. I got my coffee here, but instead of making my caramel pecan coffee this morning, I decided to use, because I had a little bit of pumpkin left in the bag. And so I said, okay, I'll just put the rest of the pumpkin with some regular coffee. So I used my Maxwell House or whatever the hell it is, and I put that in there. But I think I misjudged. Because Maxwell, even though it's a medium roast, it says, it runs dark. And I don't like dark coffee, okay? So I didn't have enough pumpkin. In other words, the ratio was off there, was wrong. So I taste no pumpkin, just regular coffee. And I don't like just regular coffee with no flavor. And to top that off, I ran out of half and half, so I have to use whole milk, which, that disrupts the blend as well, But I'm not complaining. At least I have coffee and creamer, But it's just not as enjoyable, I feel, But anyway. So we're going to get this big box out of the way first. Because it's in my way. But, oh, that's right. Before I get to the big box. That's right. Yesterday, I spent all day yesterday wrapping. And I wish that I could show you how beautiful everything looks. But, I don't want to ruin a surprise. So, but that's what I did yesterday. And everything turned out beautiful. I'm so happy with it. But now I got to find a box. So maybe I'll come across an Amazon box as I'm opening some stuff. But most likely not. A lot of these are bags today. But, and I'm not going to use this box, even though it will probably be good for presentation. I would imagine it would cost a fortune to ship. Anyway, this is, this is a very long box. And can anyone guess what's in here? I told you guys about it. I told you guys about it on last video. This is for Danny. I had already ordered him this, guys. I didn't order him anything else. So, I do have to get him a stylus pen, though. So, I don't want to... You know what? I shouldn't say that. A majority of his stuff is done. But, a mother's work is never done. So, we're going to open this and see... Take a look at this. I'm excited to see it, but I'm also kind of nervous. Because... I'm just hoping that it's what, was pictured, That's what you hope with anything you order, So, let's hope. I hope I don't have to open it on two sides. I should have done this before, I know. I always say stuff like I'm going to untape something before I get on here, and then I forget about it. I was too excited today. I was too excited to get on here. I really was. I was trying so hard to get ready quick. And then I was trying to do my nails. I soaked them off early this morning, the old ones. What a pain in the ass. I will never get that fucking dark blue again. Or anything dark. Because when you're soaking your nails in the acetone, you're trying to get the... It's actually meant for... It says lift, remove... I don't know. It's some kind of blue solution. It's not like regular nail polish remover. But anyway, so usually it's fine, but because I think of the color, the odor was so bad of the nail. Like the acetone I could deal with, but the nail smell was nasty. Never smelled anything like that when my nails were melting before. Really nasty. And I thought I heard a truck or something. Don't tell me it's another fucking fire truck. I am so sick of hearing the fire trucks in this complex, really. And it scares me half to death every time I do, because I feel like, okay, do I have to grab my fire bag and run, and get my fucking shoes on quick? If I'm in my underwear, should I put pants on? What the fuck is going on here? And every time I hear that, like, in the fire truck, like, I don't know if they open their doors or something, kind of like when a bus opens their door and you hear that, like, that kind of sound. That's how I know they're here, if they don't have their things on. I didn't hear any fire alarms, so I'm just going to keep going. Anyway, yeah, it's just, because there's so many apartments here that it's like, you never know what's going on. So, yeah, the nails. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't know because they were Halloween or whatever, but these are Halloween too. See the pink? Oh, sorry. Just like threw my fingers there in your face. They are, let me try and focus them. They're just like a light pink, and they have the cute little spider webs at the end, but they have a heart in the middle. Can you see that? Wait. There you go. It's hard with the ring light, but they have little hearts at the end. There you go. But I was trying to do them so quick because I wanted to do my video that I put one on a little crooked. You think, like, that's crooked, okay? And then this one went on way crooked, but I wasn't having it, so I took the stick and I lifted it quick, and then it broke on the bottom. But I wasn't fucking having my nail, pointing that way and my thumbs this way. But anyway, so that was another, wasn't sure what to do. Because once you have it glued, it's really hard to get it off immediately. Like, you would have to totally destroy the nail, and then I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. It was a whole big thing, okay? We'll leave it at that. I did watch some videos this weekend. Caught up on some videos. I noticed some people are doing, like, I can't think of the name of it. I don't want to rip the, hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me get this out of here. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. After I struggled with the box, almost broke a nail, and I went to check outside to make sure that there was no fire in my building. So all that you missed. So I wasn't gone that long, a couple minutes, but anyway, that box was a pain in the you-know-what. And all for, I hate when they do it. Like, Amazon loves to put things in huge boxes that don't need to be. Absolutely love it. Love it. I don't know if it's that they run out of, like, things at the warehouse or what. I don't know. But since I am opening a couple of Christmas things, and my wig is not really working with me today, we're going to put this on. Okay? Since it is a couple of Christmas gifts that I'm going to be showing you. All right? There. All right. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Can you guess what it is? Ooh. I think you guys know what was in there. Especially if you watch me all the time, then you know what it is, okay? So, dun dun dun. It is the keyboard. Woo! So, it looks nice so far. I mean, I didn't open it. It has a nice handle. And I think as soon as he rips the paper off this, he's going to be thrilled. He really wanted one. Like I said, he's been playing his little, like, Fisher-Price baby piano, and he still plays with it. But you can't really play much on it. You can play, like, Mary Had a Little Lamb, Hot Cross Buns, stuff like that. But you can't, and this has all, like, the tempo things. So let's read what this says. It says it has 10 demos, 100 tones, 100 rhythms, 61 keys, sound lesson, tempo volume, progress record and playback, and syncing chord. So you can plug in wow, look at all those, has all those cool buttons. We're going to open it in a minute, and then it tells you up here. So this is, now this better be the correct one, because then we're going to check together, because otherwise I'm not giving it to him. this has to come with a power source. Because I ain't doing no fucking batteries. Okay. It said it did. Now we gotta see. Now is the test. We got the test going on here. Oh, so what I was saying, I was watching a lot of videos. Of course, I watched Christina's video with her baby. Go check out what she named her little baby. And I watched Amanda this morning. Well, it was Angel's Nursery. Go check her out. She had a lot of balls, Amanda. Amanda has lots of balls to show you. And there was a few people that were doing like I guess a lot of people do that this time of year. Kind of like, I was talking about how around, the holidays, people do, what I got my kids for Christmas, and they, talk about that and show all the deals and stuff like that. I guess people do like one for like, I think they're calling it Vlogtober, something like that. Where I think that's where you like gotta, I think that's where you got to, I think do a video like every so often throughout the month, something like that. I never know when I'm going to be able to come on here, so I didn't want to commit to anything like that. It looks fun though, that, if you're able to do it. But I talk so much in one of my videos that I don't think I'd have something to say every single day. I don't know what I would say. So, you never know. But looks fun. Looks fun. Now, I will tell you that this doesn't look like it comes with a power source. So, this will be going back if it doesn't have a power cord with it. Unless it's on the top there. I mean, the piano itself looks good. Looks nice. But I got to check at the top of that box. So it looks really nice. The keys seem like a nice, decent size. Even I could play this. It's not heavy, so he can carry this from room to room. No problem. Yeah, I think he would really enjoy this. And then it comes with the little stickers for the things. But, however, we better check the top of that box, because it says nothing on the box about a power source. It did on Amazon. So now we got to open the other side, because there was nothing up there. And I would be mighty pissed, because maybe this isn't even the correct one that they're advertising. Thank God. Thank Gord. Oh my God. Listen, I was getting nervous for a minute there, because I was like, I found this on a great deal. I'm like talking to myself in my head. I got this on a great deal. Don't tell me that they sent me the wrong one. It doesn't come with it. Oh, Madonna mia, Sandra. All right, so. So it was in the top. See, they snuck it. They put it up here. See, in the piano. See how I got nervous? I wasn't really nervous. I was kind of disappointed, but I wasn't nervous because I knew that the fucking thing would go right back if it didn't have the power source. I can't even afford fucking batteries for my remote control for the TV. Oh my gosh, it's bad. Like, I'm so bad with batteries. Like, because we usually stock up. Okay, I will tell you, I'll be honest. We only buy batteries once a year. And yes, you guessed it, it's right before Christmas, okay? Because a lot of the things that the kids were getting needed some sort of battery. So I would send my husband to the dollar store for all different size batteries. The only so he would get like 5 packs of AA, 5 packs of AAA, 5 packs of C, 5 packs of D. The only ones we have left are C and D. So we don't need any of those. But AA's and AAA's, they're gone, like, and that's, of course, with the battery for the... Anyway, so he'll be going there soon. I'll be sending him there next month. Wow, now it's getting windy out. Okay, so this comes... Oh, I didn't know that. This comes with a microphone. How cute! So he can... I mean, it's not the best quality, but he'll love it. He'll love it. you know, he could plug this in and then sing with the music, or one of us could sing while he's playing. So that'll be fun. This will be fun Christmas morning. Definitely fun. And then, yay! La, 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 la. It is the power cord. Because, like I said, the batteries for this thing, forget it. It would be, I wouldn't buy them, and then wouldn't be a good gift, because then you couldn't use it, you know? Because I can't afford to keep buying batteries like that. So, let's just make sure this is a good cord. I wish I could plug it in and see how it works with you guys, but I'm not next to the cord. But maybe on another video, I'll break it back out before Christmas, before I wrap it, and show you how it sounds. So that sounds fun. But yeah, I am so happy. So happy. So happy. Yeah, got nervous there for a minute. All right. Now that I know it comes with everything, and I didn't get duped, this keyboard with the power adapter and microphone I got this on a Prime Day deal for $24.99. And yes, I am proud of that, because these keyboards get expensive, especially when you get into like, see, like for the power cord ones are more expensive. So this was originally $59.99 and I got it for $24.99 on a Prime Day lightning deal. So now, because, okay, so here are the jacks. So you can put the microphone, you can also do headphones, which was important too, because, you know, if he wants to play, and I don't want him to aggravate the entire household, you know, and he wants to play, you know, then he could go in his room, you know, and go with the headphones and practice, you know, and then come out and, you know, when he's done making his song, and, you know, everybody will listen to it. But, so that was, the important factors for me in looking for a keyboard for him. That's why I almost didn't get one, because the keyboards that have the power cord are $60, $80, $100. There was even one for $130 that was, I actually loved it because it was blue instead of black. And that's his favorite color. So I wanted that so bad, and I was waiting for that one to go on sale. It never did. So I couldn't pass this one up when I seen it with the lightning deal. I was like, yes, I'm grabbing that. It has the power cord. It has the power cord. That was like the main thing. I needed it to have the power cord. So, so this is going to go there. So yay, I'm happy with that. I'm so happy with this. You have no idea, guys, because I really wanted to get it for him. I wasn't sure if, what was that noise? We weren't breaking it. You know, again, I wasn't sure if I was going to at that point, because I had gotten him a lot of stuff already, and I had to focus on, you know, the other kids. And so I wasn't sure about this, but, you know, mom can't pass up a deal. I think a lot of moms out there are like that, you know? It's like, you see, I'm talking about just like for your kids. I mean, I know there's plenty of people that get deals, you know, on things. I'm just talking about, like, you know, especially when you're Christmas shopping. Where am I going to put this in? See, I don't, okay. You know, when... all time. Anyway, as I was saying, you know, when you have children, especially multiples, you know, and you want to make, you know, a nice Christmas for them, you have to look for deals. We're all on budgets these days. Everybody's on a budget, you know. I was going to say something, but I won't go into that. Not going into any politics today at all, but, or anything like that, because this is a happy, fun opening video of things. And anyway, but yeah, everybody's on a budget. Everybody. It is hard enough to figure out your meal plans and know what everybody's eating and all this stuff, and then you got to think of Christmas on top of that. And I felt so bad, I'll tell you, because, You know what though? I don't. I feel bad, but I don't. Okay, I'll tell you. I'm gonna tell you the story just so you guys can let me know. I have two of the packages from Amazon of gifts, and then I have Happy Mail. But I want your guys' opinion on something, okay? So, well, a couple things actually. But before I forget, here, you know what? I'm gonna put this here so I remember that story. But I wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. So Halloween. Okay. So now Danny knows, he hears, that mommy's talking to Santa and, we're not sure. Is this angle right? And we're not sure if, I'm not going to be hard on myself today. No, don't do it, Sandra. Okay. Just go on with the video. So I've been doing my best to get the sales for Christmas stuff and everything, the Christmas decorations. I wanted to do bigger this year. I wanted it to be different. I wanted to switch it up, and I've been trying really hard to do that. And I think, that for the most part I have. So I told you the last video how Danny was telling me that he wants a costume for Halloween. He wants a new costume for Halloween. He wants to be Pomni. He found a Pomni costume. It comes with everything, has the jumper shorts thing, and then the hat, and I think even glasses or something. But he's showing this to me. And all I can see is the price tag. I'm like, no. It's around like between $40 and $50. Now, for one Halloween costume that is not a pajama that you could wear again, absolutely, I can't do it. I can't. There's no way, absolutely not. Now, of course, being a mom, you want to get it for your children, right? He's saying, Mommy, this is what I want to be, and I'm like, all I could think of is Christmas. Like, I can't do that too, So I told him, I said, Danny, you have 2 costumes in your drawer right now. You have the one that I bought you last year. Okay, he begged and begged and begged me for a miraculous ladybug costume. And I found it. I bought it at Walmart. I think it was like $25 around there. And then he needed a wig or something. I never got the wig. I said you could just go like that, and that's right, because Jason was like, you're going to let him wear those earrings trick or treat? And I was like, it's miraculous ladybug. And then I think after that, though, like, he decided that he didn't, after I bought him the costume, we opened it, threw the tags away, all that kind of stuff. Then, like, a week before Halloween, he says, no, Mom, I don't want to be this. I'm not going to go out as Ladybug. I'm going to go as Sonic. Now, he already had Sonic the Hedgehog pajamas, like the zip-up fleece with the, the head piece, whatever. Excuse me. He had that from, I don't know if it was last Christmas, the Christmas before, or for his birthday I had bought him that. But either way, he had it, okay? So he had 2 costumes to choose from. Last minute, he decided to be Sonic again, because I think he was Sonic the last year. I think. He must have got the pajamas the Christmas before, because the Halloween before he was Spider-Man. But anyway. That was another beautiful costume, muscles and all on the costume. But, I can only do those if, and this year it's not in the cards, So so it kind of faded a little. I said, you're gonna have to be Sonic again, Then of course, last night he comes to me with the catalog. I think it's in one of the Wish books. Or maybe it could have been on Jason's phone. I don't know. One of them. He comes to me. Of course, when I'm trying to watch the John Candy documentary, I'm so into this, with my tissues and all. And they were supposed to be playing Roblox together. But he comes out and he says, Mommy, please, can you get this costume? Please, please, please. And of course, he's a kid. I know that's what he's going to do anyway. So I I asked him, right? Because I was trying to give him an option. That's what you do with kids, right? So you don't want to make them feel like, no, they can't. You want to give them options, okay? So I said, okay, Danny, how badly do you really want this costume? Because you just showed me 2 things that you wanted for Christmas, which in my eyes isn't worth the price tag. But these are things that he's been asking me for. And I keep saying, no, 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 no. I'll get you something else. So like they're this, because the kids see stuff on YouTube, of all these other kids, opening up all these surprise things. And so I think one of them was like Sonic the Hedgehog, like you get a toy on one side, kind of like a Kinder Egg, but it's not in the same egg, if that makes any sense. It's a bigger egg, and then the toy is on one side, the candy's on the other. So I found them because he was watching them. He's like, I want these, I want these for Christmas, and to bring these with the. So I looked for them, and I happened to come across them on Amazon when I was looking for another item he wanted. So you get a set of like those, it's a set of 8, and it's not guaranteed that you get all different figures. You can get doubles or triples of the same figure, kind of like when you open up any other surprise blind box or bag, whatever. So I'm like, I put it in the cart, but then like I'm looking at it and I'm like, it's $20, okay? $20 for little like candy. It's not even candy, it's like frosting, Nutella and frosting. And it's like a little tiny bit, and then on the other side is the little tiny toy, like the size of a Kinder Egg toy, like that. Like, you got to put it together, in fact. So I would say like a Lego, something like that. So you get 8 of those. You don't know if you're going to get the same or not. For $20, I can't see the value, but of course, again, this year, Mama is thinking more about what they want and not what I think is, because I'm not the one opening that Christmas. I'm not the one getting excited for that. I mean, and I try to put it as, would they be excited, opening up a silicone baby this Christmas? Would they be excited opening up doll clothes? Would they be excited opening up a bra? Because I would, So it's like, Mom's trying to think differently this year because there isn't money to waste, So, but when I look at that, I get almost this feeling in my stomach of like disgust, because I know that that's not worth the money. But to Danny, it's totally worth the smiles, So it's really, really difficult, But so that, and then he wants so bad for like a month now, Sonic the Hedgehog lollipops. Those are even more money, but you get more. You get a box, I think, of 24 for $25. And they come with so the lollipops, one is blue for Sonic. It has the whole face on it. Tails and Knuckles are the other characters. And the reviews are great. They say the lollipops taste good. The lollipops really look like the characters. So that I was a little more okay. But now he wants both. So I'm thinking candy. It's candy is all it is. And then little tiny friggin' things that I'm going to step on again. So he wants both of those. So that's $45. $45 now we're talking about for candy and little Kinder-like figures, okay? Keep that in mind, okay? I'm going somewhere with this, all right? So I had them both in my Amazon cart, and I was going to buy them in November for him. Now, so he's asked, Mommy, I want this Pomni costume. I said, well, how bad do you want it, Danny? I said, because then that's going to come out of your Christmas money, with gifts that are from Mom and Dad, because Santa's done. Santa has closed the shop. The elves have made all your stuff. They're done. Okay. It's just waiting to be delivered. All right. So now the piano will be from me and Jason, because I always tell the kids that Santa does not bring electronics. Okay. Mom and Dad buy the electronics or anything that has to do with that, okay? DVDs or chargers or, anything, whatever, okay? Anything that's electrical, Mom and Dad get, okay? Santa doesn't do that. They don't make that up in the North Pole. The elves can only do so much, okay? They only work with wood and plastic and glue. They don't have, the ability to be making all these electrical things, okay? So that's for Mom and Dad. So this keyboard will be from us, for me and Jason. But anyway, so I told him, I said, look, do you want your costume more than these two items. And I showed him, what I had in my cart, the lollipops and the candy things. And he says, oh my God, you found those? You found them? How did you find them? I said, because Mom is good. That's my job. Don't you know? That's what I'm doing on my spare time. I'm searching the internet for good deals. So Mom found them. Okay, I found them. He didn't know that, you see. He didn't know I found it. He knew about the lollipops because he had found them first, but he didn't know about the other things. So I was like, well, Danny, let's do a little math lesson here. These two things together are just about the same price as your Pomni costume. So you have to make a choice. I said, I have no problem buying you the Pomni costume, but that's going to be part of your Christmas money. So that means that Mommy and Daddy cannot get you the Sonic lollipops or the other candy. And he's sitting there on the couch. And he's really thinking hard. And he says, you know what, Mommy? I don't want the costume anymore. So, you see what I'm saying? He really thought about it. And he said he would much rather open those things on Christmas than get the costume. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. All right, no, I did not buy the costume too. Okay, no, I did not. But I guess that's my question. Now I can't get it. I can't get it now. Like I wouldn't be able to afford it before Halloween. But these costumes go on sale after Halloween, the day after Halloween. So, I guess my question to you guys is, being a mom and all, even if you aren't a mom, I mean, what's your opinion on this? Should I still, knowing how much he wants this costume and has been consistently asking for it, do I buy the Pomni costume after Halloween and wrap it for under the tree along with the candy? Or do I get the Pomni costume and only get one of the candies? Or do I forget about the Pomni costume altogether and just get the candy? What is your opinion? I really would love to know your opinion. Now, listen, my son is well behaved for the most part. He is an 8-year-old, so, he's going to be, have his 8-year-old moods and stuff. But for the most part, okay? And he's doing great in school, and so it's hard. It's really hard. So I guess that's my question. Now, of course, that is all dependent on after I get Jack's computer, because that is top of the list for November 1st. That is top of the list. And then I have some family games. I decided to do, usually I'll pick a game for each of them or something like that, cards or something, and put it in their stocking or wrap it. But I think this year and then we usually do a family gift. But I think this year the family gift is going to be the game. So instead of giving them separate games, I found a bunch of really cool games like Santa Claus Go Fish and Memory. And I've always wanted to get Don't Break the Ice. I've never had that as a kid. I know it's an older game. I had Don't Spill the Beans. And also there's one that I cannot find that me and my sister loved and we would always be hysterical with. It's called Sneaky Pete. And if anybody knows where I can find that game, it's like it has a tray with black velvet on the bottom, and it has dice that you throw. But there's a little dome cover, so whoever is going at the time and rolling the dice, the other person can't see. So it's called Sneaky Pete. So you have to kind of guess what's on the dice, I believe, or something like that. But if anybody knows where I can find Sneaky Pete, please let me know. Okay, I would love to have that game. That has great memories attached to it. I thought about getting Mousetrap or Operation, the older games, which were fun, when I was younger. But I feel like anytime I've gotten my kids a game like that, it literally is just for Christmas Day and then they never touch it again. So I'm trying to get games like that I would play with Jason, when the kids don't play, stuff like that. So that's why like the Go Fish is good. Not that we play Go Fish, but I'm saying, games that are more, versatile, I guess. Um, so Don't Break the Ice. I think that's one that the kids would like. I think it is. Because they love Jenga. And we don't have Jenga. We've had Jenga so many times throughout the years. But the pieces get missing. But they all love that game, especially Jack. Battleship is another fun one, but that doesn't stick around for long. I love playing Battleship. I always win. Of course, I always win the Battleship. I always sink everybody's ships. But there's a bunch of really, good games, But yeah, Don't Break the Ice. And there was another one, that I wanted to try that's called, I think it's called Our Family is Weird. It's like this new board game. And it comes with like cards, and then you each have a piece of paper and a pen. And then when you pick a card, it says something silly like, I don't know, like, I don't know, taking a shower, with, it just says something funny, like stuff that silly stuff that maybe people would do, and then you all have to guess and write down out of the family members playing who is most likely to do that, you know. So that sounds fun. I think that's something that my kids would laugh at. Okay, so it's a new game. Sounded fun. Have it in my cart. Probably get it. Along with the other, card games and stuff. And I'm still thinking about Don't Break the Ice. There's a Mammoth edition. So it has like that we love Ice Age, all the Ice Age movies. So it has like the little orange mammoth instead of a penguin. And yes, that one is $5 more, but I think it's cuter. It also has the ice is like kind of different colors instead of all one. But so I have that one in my cart. I don't know about that. Then I found Bluey Jenga. So it's Jenga, but it just has Bluey and Bingo and all them all over the blocks, which that I think is more engaging for Danny because it's, characters that he likes and, but so all these things are in the cart. But yeah, if anybody knows where I can find Sneaky Pete, please let me know. Racco is a really fun game, and me and Jason used to play that in our earlier years. We would go actually have Racco night with another couple that we were friends with, and we would go to their house, and they would have snacks, and we would eat dinner there, order pizza, have a couple beers, and we would play Racco. And we would have tournaments, we would actually have tournaments where we would bet, with real money. So it was fun. It was really fun. That's a good memory. So Racco is a really fun game. Scrabble, love Scrabble. I could play for hours and hours with my mother-in-law. That's what we did. Me and my mother-in-law would play Scrabble while we watched Dancing with the Stars or The Bachelorette or whoever was on. American Idol we would watch, and we would play Scrabble all night long. You have to remember Jason worked shift work at that time. So did my father-in-law. They both did. So, when Jason would work overnight, I would stay at my mother-in-law's, which we only lived upstairs from. It was a house that the landlord rented to the bottom apartment to my mother-in-law, my father-in-law at first. And then there was still a lady that was renting the upstairs apartment. And I told my mother-in-law, I said, talk to your landlord and let them know that when she leaves, I will rent that top, apartment. Because we had lived together prior to that. We always lived together, but in a upstairs, downstairs, or, that kind of thing. So we were always in the same building, in other words, but that at that point we had separated. And that was when I was pregnant with Jack. So we were living on our own. And so when Jason would shift work overnight, I would say, please drop me off at your mother's. I can't stay here alone. And I was pregnant, I was like, I'm not staying here alone. So he's like, all right, come on, I'll drop you off. So even though we had our own apartment at the time, like, I was never there. I was always even when he was home, like he would, come off shift work and then he would just lay down on their couch and fall asleep for the day. And then I would still be there. And then he would be like, okay, I gotta go. I'm just gonna go home and get change of clothes and shower, and I'm going back to work. Are you staying here? Or are you coming home? I'm like, well, no, if you're if you're going back to work, then I'm fucking staying here. I'm not going to be there by myself. At one point, my mom had worked, where we rented the apartment. It was kind of in between, midway to where my mother-in-law was living and then where my mother worked at the time. My mother was a manager at Honda. So she would, on her lunch break, she would always come eat lunch with me when I was pregnant with Jack. And I would always have lunch ready for her because I knew what time, her lunch was. So I would always make us, our most favorite was pastina cooked in the chicken broth with broccoli rabe. And if you don't know what broccoli rabe is, it's a bigger version of broccolini. So it's like a bitter broccoli, but it's on long kind of stalks with leaves, green leaves, and they're little tiny baby broccolis at the end of each one. Tastes nothing like actual broccoli. It's bitter, and you have to salt it really well, cook it in olive oil. And anyway, so I used to do that. I would cook the broccoli rabe, and then I would put it in the pot with the pastina and the chicken broth, grated cheese. Oh my God, I'm making myself hungry thinking about it. But that was our favorite. Or if I didn't have the broccoli rabe, I would put in like zucchini. So I would chop up some zucchini, fry that up, and then throw that in. And either way, we absolutely loved it. I lived off pastina. It was so good. So she knew, to come to my house for lunch. So it was kind of tricky because if I wanted to have lunch with my mother, then I had to go home. But then sometimes after he woke up, he wouldn't have enough time to go 25 minutes the other way from the Taconic to drop me off. Taconic State Parkway was the main parkway to go, get everywhere. And a lot of times he would work down in Queens, Brooklyn, wherever it was. He worked a lot in, oh my God, I can't even think of it. And we actually lived there for a while. I'm drawing a blank. I don't remember, but it was, I don't remember. If I remember, I'll let you know. But so he would drive on the Taconic for, a long time to get to work. So he would leave very early. It was just a whole shift work for me as a wife. It didn't work well for me because maybe it would be different if I had kids already, but to be alone, I can't take that. That's why when we lived in Florida, when we lived in, we were between Clearwater and St. Pete. So we were on, Indian Rocks Beach is where we lived. And we were there for about 14 months, I think, something like that. But it was great until the money ran out and he had to go back to work. And at the time he was a phlebotomist at the hospital. And, I would have to stay home, and isolate. I was so scared. And meanwhile, I lived right across the street from the beach. And I did go, but I wouldn't go by myself, in other words, I was too afraid. Like, I didn't really know the area that great. It wasn't a bad neighborhood, but, it was just, to me, with somebody with my anxiety and panic and, whatever, I just couldn't bring myself to go alone. Then eventually, because, and when you isolate yourself and you stay indoors inside all the time, you can't meet anyone, you can't meet anyone. And, I had gone over, because we were in a duplex up on stilts, which looked really cool, you park underneath. And so I would go, the next door neighbor was actually the landlord and his girlfriend at the time. So I would go over and give her the rent. And they loved it because we actually gave them 6 months rent up front plus deposit. So they were like, oh, thank you, but anyway, after that, I started going over to give her the rent. And we started talking little by little, and she's like, "Oh, you're home?" She's like, "I'm home all the time too. Why don't we get together?" So I started going over there a little bit, and we started she was totally into, I remember, The Ghost Whisperer with Jennifer Love Hewitt, and I loved that show. Like, she totally got me into that. Then I had to watch all that. I watched every episode of Desperate Housewives while I was isolating. I watched every episode, every season, just back to back to back to back. Will and Grace too. Will and Grace, I watched back to back to back. So that's basically how I kept myself okay, because at the time I wasn't on any medication at all. So you can imagine, okay, it was not a good place for me at the time. I had my own doll room because we had a beautiful 2-bedroom. We got all brand new furniture when we moved down there, of course, because we didn't have anything. I had gotten new dolls. That's when I started getting into the Annette Hempstead dolls. So I had 2 of them there. Beautiful dolls. I had 2 of them. And then I had my 2 Behringer toddler dolls, Cookie and Peaches. And they were beautiful. Had beautiful wigs, beautiful glass eyes. I love those babies. They were like the perfect reborn toddler. So I had things. I had doll furniture and a swing and a little setup with a tea set and the table. I had everything, clothes, I had everything for them. But I was so scared and nervous when I was alone that I didn't even want to go in there. I didn't want to go in there to look at them, play, nothing. It was like I was alone, And at that time, there was no real like computer access or nothing. We may have had a laptop, but I don't remember it being like now, we're talking back in 2006, maybe something like that. Maybe 2005, something around 2005. So, we're talking 20 years ago, so it just wasn't right. It wasn't right for me. It wasn't right for us together as a couple. And I miss my in-laws so bad. And they came down once to visit. Okay. And I will tell you, when they left, okay, and I watched them leave, I wanted to jump in the car with them. I was like, I'm going back home. I'm going back to New York. I can't take this anymore. Okay. It was the longest vacation ever, but not a vacation because it was too much for me. So right after they left, I told Jason, I was like, I want to go back. I can't do this. And maybe we stayed another couple months, to get enough money saved to leave, because it costs money for gas. We're driving all the way from Florida to New York, and for food and whatever else. He's like, you got to at least give me a little time. I got to, make some money. All while you're paying rent there, which honestly, I want to say that for a beautiful 2-bedroom apartment, clean, nice, across the street from the beach, I think we were paying $750 a month. And that is crazy to even think about in today's day. I can't even tell you how much an apartment like that probably goes for now. But we really found a gem in the, but it would have been nice, I feel, if my family was there, because my mother did come to visit as well. My mother and my sister Michelle, she brought her boyfriend, and they, of course, made a, whole, like, nothing is quiet when they're around. We'll just say that. Of course, they went down to the local, corner tiki bar, and, at first, that's how it always ends up, though, my family. It's like, when everybody's together, something's going to happen, okay? Something. It doesn't, you could say, oh, no, we're going to be calm, we're just going to have one drink, just have a pina colada, relax, sit, listen to the music, watch the waves. Ain't happening with my family, okay? It started off nice, as always. Started off nice and calm and just having a drink and sitting. There was a band playing. It was an outdoor tiki bar type thing right on the beach, and they had the music and everything. Everything was great for about 2 hours, okay? Then, the more, the more alcohol you add and the more talking you do and the more, people that come in and out, and my mother loves to talk to everybody, she loved to just mingle and dance, and, and I did too, but to a point, she like kind of overextended things. And then she would always be like, okay, you guys could go home. Cause I was like, come on, Mom, we're going. She's like, you guys could go. I'll meet you back at the house, that sort of thing. And, then before you know it, you get a call and you're like, oh, I have your mother here, Anyway, good times, but you knew that, everybody together was just not good. So anyway, we did have some nice times there, but it just wasn't the right place for us. All right. I'll leave it at that. So we drove back to New York, but before we went to New York, Jason stopped off. I think it was in Carolina, one of the two. And we went to the doll market, which, at the time, I don't think it's still there. Somebody let me know if you've been there. The doll market was a doll store. It was a huge doll store. I remember I was there before they even opened the doors. I had never been to a doll shop like that before, of that extent. They had their own little like side room where they had clearance dolls, not clearance, but like on sale, whatever. And then you go in the main place, and I mean, they had like tables and, counters, whatever, all around. And it was just a big giant room. And then all along the walls, they had enclosed glass cases full of dolls. And they're all looking at you. And when I tell you that, honestly, I loved it. But at some point, especially when I got to the bigger dolls, it was very overwhelming for me. I just got a sense of creepiness. And I know that's kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It just didn't feel good. I mean, I loved looking at all of them. They were all gorgeous, but separate. Once it got like that, it just felt, but gorgeous. At the time, they had the Atlantis collection of the Annette Hempstead dolls, and I wanted one so badly, but we had zero room in the car. But I did get 2 Lee Middleton dolls, and I was able to, just stuff them top of the back. But really beautiful place to go and visit and just look around and all that kind of stuff. So we stopped there, and then we went home. And that was that. And then we had to live with my in-laws for a little bit while we looked for an apartment. So that was kind of rough because we had to live, stay in the living room on an air mattress. And, that was difficult. It was a little, cause they lived in a townhouse at the time. So, it was a typical townhouse where you walk in the front door, dining room, then the kitchen's in the middle, boxed in, and then the living room, and then you have another door to go outside, or you could go up this big long steps, and then that's where you had the full bath and the 2 bedrooms upstairs. So at the time, my brother-in-law hadn't gotten married yet, and he was living there. So we lived in the living room for like, I don't know, like 4 months or so, and then I guess my mother-in-law started talking to my brother-in-law about, maybe moving in with his girlfriends. And I think but she was still living with her parents because she worked all the time. She probably still works. She worked her ass off all the time. So I think she just lived in their basement. Like it was real tiny and wasn't sure. Whatever. I'm getting too deep into the situation. But anyway, so long story short, he moved out, and then me and Jason moved up to that bedroom until we were able to save enough to get our own place, and then that's how that went. And then, shortly after, I think I had went down to visit, so I had become friends with the landlord's girlfriend from Florida, and so she had called me up after I went back to New York, and she's like, why don't you come down here and visit? I miss you, this and that. And I said, I don't know. It was around Christmas time, I think, like early, like maybe November time. And she's like, why don't you just come down here? I miss you, da da da. And she's like, I'll pay for your ticket. Just come, just get to the airport. She's like, just get your ass to the airport. You're coming down here. And I was like, and she was a very forward type of person. And I was like, what the hell? It's a free trip. I'll stay with her, go to the beach, whatever. So I went, and then, while Jason was working and working, and then when I came back, we actually was able to rent a house down the street from my in-laws. A really nice, like farmhouse type looking thing. It was like pushed back from the street. So from the outside, it didn't look appealing really. But once you entered the house, like it had a front porch and these grand stairway, like steps to go upstairs. The upstairs had slanted ceilings, so it was really, I'm shorter, so it was okay for me. But you couldn't really stand, especially like in the middle bedroom. But it had 3 bedrooms, beautiful redone bath, like shower, with a bench in it, tiled bench, all in like terracotta colors. Beautiful, beautiful bathroom. It was just, the only problem was beautiful kitchen, big dining. I mean, everything was beautiful. The only problem was that the only bathroom was upstairs. So, during the day, you have to go up. And it was a lot. It was a lot of steps. And I had Jack. And Jack was a baby. So, it was hard to go, up and down, up and down, up and down with a little baby. And plus I was afraid of him. We had a gate at the top and the bottom, but I was afraid of him. Even when you have a gate, those aren't 100%. And oh my God, I can't even imagine. So at some point or another, I was like, we can't stay here, even though it was gorgeous. I was like, there's no way we can't do this, And then we look for somewhere else, and we wind up just getting something. For the meantime, because my mother-in-law, that's when she had said that, now back full circle, that's when she had said the above, because they moved out of the townhouse. And she said when the apartment is available upstairs, she'll let me know. The landlord told her that the woman upstairs was leaving next month. So we kind of needed a place for a month. And so we found a month-to-month rental, but we had to move everything in there. And this place was scary and nasty. I'll say that. It was winter. And it had to be November because Jack was only like 3 months old. And we had to stay at this place where upstairs they must have had 4 dogs, big dogs, and you would hear them giddy up like a horse across. Now they had hardwood floors upstairs, and you would hear the dog's nails go and scratching all across, running back and forth, back and forth. I couldn't stand it. So basically, that's another time I would go and stay at my mother-in-law's, especially when Jason was on shift work. So I would go there with Jack, and we would stay there until Jason would get off in the morning. So basically that apartment was kind of just a holding apartment, for our stuff. We should have just put everything in storage, to be honest with you, and then just stayed with them. But anyway, so then the apartment was available. Then we moved upstairs, and then we were together there for a really long time. I want to say, I don't know, at least 2 years. And then my mother-in-law got sick, and she had to go. She had 2 knee operations. She was in a motorized chair. Her kidneys were failing, so she had to go on dialysis. So my father-in-law would drive her back and forth, but it wasn't close to where they lived. So eventually, she went into the nursing home, and because it was a lot easier to do the dialysis every day. And I would go and visit her there, and then things kind of started crumbling apart. And me and my husband moved to Hyde Park, New York. We moved over there. We rented an apartment there, nice 2-bedroom. And that's when my Uncle Danny actually came and lived with us for a little while, and my brother John. So we had help there because I was pregnant with Ethan. And so, and Jack was 3. I know there's a large gap in there from when Jack was 3 months to now he's 3 years old. But you have to remember, we stayed in Pine Plains for 2 years. But anyway, so he was 3, and then I was having Ethan, and so we knew we needed help. So my brother stayed with us and Uncle Danny, and then eventually John moved down to Florida with my sisters and my mother, and he was so good with Ethan, though. He was there when Ethan was born. He was taking care of Ethan when he was helping Jason, basically, when I had to go back in the hospital because of my infection. So Ethan was only a week old. Jack had just turned 3, I think. And I had to go back in the hospital for 10 days because I had a really bad infection. I almost died. I'm not going to get into all that again because I've told that before. But so, yeah, he was taking care of Ethan. And then he wound up moving back down to Florida. And then my uncle followed. So he moved down to Florida as well for a little bit. But then he went back to New York. Everybody kept going back and forth, honestly, from Florida to New York, Florida to New York. Everybody kept going back and forth. Nobody knew where they wanted to stay. You know, everybody was all confused. But as you see, I've traveled way and far, long and far today. And I hope you guys were able to kind of connect the dots and figure out. Okay, so she was living over here, and then she went. I could see Christina doing that. Okay, so she lived in Florida, and then she went back, and then she had to take all her stuff. Then she had. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, Clark! All right, over an hour, and I didn't get to. All right, we're gonna do it now. We're gonna. Oh wait, one more thing. Before I get to the packages, my lipstick is probably peeling by now. Just one quick thing. So when I was growing up, my mother always, and this is a question for you guys too, so leave it in the comments below, along with Sneaky Pete, if you know where I can find Sneaky Pete, and also if you think I should get Danny the Pomni costume after Halloween. You guys have a lot of answers to give me today, okay? I'm giving you a lot of content. Please respond to me, okay? Anyway, so my mom always taught us that when you wear a ring, okay, you should always wear it so that, like, this has the hearts on it, okay? So you should always, like, it doesn't matter with these because it's the same kind of design either way you wear it, okay? But, like, I guess, like, with an engagement ring or any kind of ring that has a design, okay? So this has hearts on it. So this Jason got me for my first Mother's Day after I had Danny. So it represents Jack, Ethan, and Danny. Now, my mother always taught me that you wear your ring so that facing the other person, so that if a person, grabs your hand and, you say, oh, you like my ring, whatever. And so the design is facing them so they're able to see it. Now, my thing is, like, I like to enjoy my ring too, so if it's pointing that way, it doesn't look right to me. It's not like I'm going to go like this to look at my ring. I'm going to go like this. So I've been wearing it this way so that I can see it. But every time I wear it like this, I can't help but hear my mother in my ear saying, Sandra, that's not the right way to wear it. So my question to you is, which way do you wear your rings? Is it for the other person to see or for you to look at? Now, I know some people are going to say, Sandra, it's so easy. Just switch it around. Just switch it around. When you go out and you know you're going to be around people, switch it around so they could see it. And then when you get home, you switch it so you can see it. But I'm just curious. I'm just curious if anybody's ever heard that before. Or if it was just my mother. I don't know. Okay. We have so much to get to. Jason's going to come home from his, wherever he went. And he's going to be like, you're still on a video? Like, okay. Let's get to it. Okay, so these two. Oh no. Do you guys want a hint of how I wrapped Christina's stuff? I will give you guys a hint. How about I will show you one? How about I could do that? I could show you guys one thing, okay? So you guys can get an idea. Just a sneak peek, all right? I'm going to show you just one thing that I wrapped yesterday. Well, I mean, I wrapped everything yesterday, but this is the theme, okay? I don't know how this got undone. Hold on. This is the theme. And I am so happy with how everything turned out. I'm just trying to fix the ribbon, you know, so you guys get the best view. So this is her theme. So I'm going with pink, white, gold, and silver and gold. So that's what we're doing. Silver and gold with pink. So that's just one of her presents. And I'm so excited. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I wish I could show everything, but at least you get a sneak peek and you'll be able to see Christina, you know, when she, see everything when she opens it up. But that's just a little sneak peek. So that's what I was doing all day yesterday. Anyway, so, all right, let's get to these. So, okay, so this is something that Ethan had been asking me for last year and the year before, I believe. But his brother just handed down to him his Nintendo Switch Lite because Ethan didn't have a game system like that. And since Jack, you know, I talked to Jack and I said, Jack, you haven't used it in months. You know, when do you really play that anymore? Because now his thing is the VR constantly. And when he's not on that, he's on his computer drawing his 3D figures and whatever, watching his shows. So he doesn't really go on it. So I'm like, just give it to your brother, you know? It'd make life a lot easier for me because he's asking for games for Christmas and he doesn't have a system. So he's going to ask to borrow it every time he wants to play. And he's like, okay. So I said, make a deal. I always tell my kids, bargain, make a deal with him, you know? So, they don't know how to bargain though. So I have to kind of help, you know, intervene. And he's like, okay. And they can't figure it out. So I'm like, okay, well, they share a room. So I told Jack, I said, every Friday, you have been asking Ethan to sleep out here because you want time alone with your boyfriend on the VR. I said, so if you want time alone every Friday, then why don't you make a deal and say, okay, Ethan, you sleep out here with mom, sleep on the couch, you know, not with me, but on the couch. Sleep on the couch every Friday. And I'm like, okay, what I think would be fair is if you give him the Switch, like no backsies, you can't take it back. And Ethan will sleep on the couch every Friday until January. And I thought that was a really good deal. Okay. And he went for it. He was like, okay. Because I know how much, because he asks me all the time, I'll be like, please, can you get Ethan out of here? You know, the Friday night, that's when he spends with whoever. So, I know who it is, but I'm not going to say, you know, the other kid's name. I'm not going to say. But they've been together now for a year and a half, I think, about that. So, and Jack is 17. So, he has called him on the phone and I've heard him talking to him. And he has FaceTimed this kid. Cause I said, there was a period where I was like, Jack, if you don't see who he is, if you don't see who you are talking to, then I'm sorry, but you cannot no longer talk to this, you know, person, this kid. I said, I was very strict about it. And he's like, okay, mom, okay, I'll do it, you know? And I was in the room with him when he FaceTimed him, but I didn't want to embarrass him and be like, oh, my mom wants to see, you know? So I was in the room and I heard the kid talking. So I knew it was the kid and Jack seen him and it was the kid. It was the same kid that had sent him pictures because they sent pictures back and forth, you know, just headshots, you know. And so I wanted to just make sure that that's who he was actually talking to because it's so dangerous on the internet. You know, you want to make sure. That's why I always say pictures are so important for me anyway, to feel comfortable, I guess. For me to feel comfortable, to know that that's the actual person you are speaking to, I need a picture or a video or something that I can see who you are. because I don't want to be talking to somebody that you know, I don't really know, except there are a couple exceptions. I don't want to say nobody because I do talk to people that I've never seen before. But I think they have sent me pictures, I think. But it just makes it more comfortable, more easy to talk to when you know who it is. You know, it just makes it harder when you don't know. I feel that's my opinion. That, hey, you know, Sandra's got opinions for days. All right. Anyway, here is the game. Now, remember I showed you guys those two plushies that I got for Ethan that were from Five Nights at Freddy's, Sun and Moon. Now, I don't believe they are in this particular game, but this is a Five Nights at Freddy's game. They already have the security. No, this is Security Breach. The first one with Freddy. I forgot the name of that one, but he has been asking for this one. And I wouldn't get it for him because it's rated teen and up, so it's for teenagers. And this better be an authentic game because to me this looks a little bootleg. Oh, it includes a sticker sheet from Freddy Fazbear's. That's nice. So this is the game. Don't get scared, guys. This is the Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach game for Nintendo Switch. I might play it, to be honest with you. I want to see what it's about. Like, I like to, before I get any of these things for any of them, I always watch the gameplays on YouTube. And guys, that is a really great tip. If you are a mom or a dad that your child is asking you for a game to play like this, a video game, and you have no clue what the hell it's about, go to YouTube, type in the game, and put gameplay. And there's tons of them. And you can see parts of the game. You could see someone actually playing the game, what it looks like, the characters, the theme, what's going on. Is it appropriate? Is it not? I always pre-watch stuff like that, even for shows, okay? Because the thing that Danny's into, Amazing Digital Circus, their shows, parts of it can be iffy, you know, especially for a kid that doesn't understand those particular things yet. So I will, you know, go over that stuff first. And there are episodes of that he's not allowed to watch till he's a teenager. And it was actually I think it was the 4th episode, I did not allow him to watch. There was no way. So, you know, even with the games, it's just a good idea if you're unsure of a game, to watch it first. So I did watch a little gameplay. It's scary, but I think if you're into this type of thing, then you're into it. I would probably play it and probably shit my pants. No, it's not that scary, but it does have the jump scares and stuff like that. And the characters on here, honestly, they're a little scary to me. Like, I'm not going to show you the back because they're really, really scary. But I will read what it's about. Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. In Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, play as Gregory, a young boy who's been trapped overnight inside of Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizza Place. With the help of Freddy himself, Gregory must uncover the secrets of the Pizzaplex, learn the truth, and survive until dawn. So, the idea of this game is you have to survive the night. I actually liked that song, Survive the Night, that they made. But so you basically have to stay alive until I think it's 5 a.m., I want to say, or 6, something like that. So it's a security guard. The idea of this game is it's a night security guard, and these animatronics, they come to life. I'm not going to explain the whole backstory because some people might be like, oh my God, But there is a backstory, and if you're interested, you could type in Five Nights at Freddy's, Google it, and it will tell you the backstory of the lore of this game. Again, Danny cannot play this. Danny, absolutely not. Nope. And he cannot even be in the room when Ethan is playing it. And that's that. That's it. But I thought now that Ethan's 14 and he really had wanted this, I got it for him. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. I mean, the kids have been into FNAF since, like, I want to say the past 9 years or so. And, you know, at first I just got them the plushies and stuff like that. But, you know, then as they got older, they wanted, you know, and some stuff I was very, like I said, he had wanted the Sun and Moon plush last year and the year before. I was like, nope, 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 nope. It just wasn't appropriate for him, you know, at 12 years old. I didn't feel, you know? Okay. But anyway. Give a little refreshing, darling. Okay. Now, okay, I have 3 bags left. 2 are Happy Mail. And 1 is not. Now, I don't know. Let me read the name. Okay. Because the ones that I bought have my husband's name on it because it's his account. I mean, I'm on the account, but, you know, you have to switch over every time you buy something like that, you know. Anyway, so I forgot what's in here. Oh, okay. Now I remember. Of course, now I remember. So, we got the last piece of the trio. Now, of course, I said I wasn't getting the fourth one, the cinnamon buns, but who knows? That could change. I don't know. All right, I'm just making sure the box is good because he's collecting these. Oh, how cute. Remember I showed you that I had this one I showed you last time, Hello Kitty. Now we have my Melody. So you ready for these eyes? Oh, look at these eyes. Look at her. And she's on another, I think that's a cloud, has the sun, the little flower in her hair. And look at those eyes, guys. I'm pretty sure you could see a shape or something within the eye. Maybe a bunny? I don't know. But really, really cute. And I don't know if I'm going to get... Guys, should I get him the cinnamon roll? The 4th one? So he has the complete collection on Christmas? Or should I leave it at this 3 so this way he can be, like, excited to complete the collection? You know? And then you know what I do like to do? Which I know may be weird. I don't know. But you know, Mom, always thinking, I like to try, and I did last year. I like to try and get them like a $10 or $15 Amazon gift card for their stocking. Because I feel that way, if they didn't get something that they asked for that's within that price range, or maybe they got something that needs something added to it, you know, or like whatever it may be, that then they have their gift card and they can then go and buy what they want or what they feel, you know, was maybe missing. I know. You know what? I feel that sometimes I do feel this way, and I try my best to make the kids so happy, you know, for Christmas, and their birthdays and stuff. And sometimes I feel that maybe I'm trying to make everything too perfect. You know, like I kind of had this discussion this morning with my friends. It's like I'm hard on myself. I'm too hard on myself sometimes about things. And this is one of them. I feel like I want them to be so happy on Christmas that it almost gives me anxiety thinking that, okay, did I do enough? Did I get the right things? Am I getting the correct things? Am I putting the money where it should be, where they really want, you know? And that just kind of replays. It replays all this holiday season. It keeps replaying in my mind until Christmas Day. Because for me, I look forward to this day all year long. Like, this is my thing, and it's also hard because my kids are getting older. I have two teenagers now, and Jack just wants a computer. He doesn't want anything else. It's like, and I guess that makes me nervous for Danny. Ethan's still kind of in that middle stage, where he is kind of towards Jack, but he also has not a baby side to him, but like that still innocence, that childhood innocence to him. But Danny, like, he's my last baby, and I think that's where a large part of this comes from as well. That I know that this isn't going to last forever. And so I want these memories to be made. And, but a lot of times, not that I go overboard, because I don't go overboard. I feel, like I just want everything to go perfect, and nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So I feel like in this department, for me, in this department of Christmas, that's why I feel the need to make this perfect, because there's so many other aspects of my life that aren't. You know what I'm saying? With my own self, with, just everything else, mental health, and, just everything. So many other areas, that, I don't know, that I feel like are out of my control. This is one thing where I am. So that's why I kind of double down and want to make sure. And I just know it's not going to be that way. It shouldn't be that way, but do I get cinnamon roll? That's my question. Do I get cinnamon roll, or do I just let it be as the 3 that I have, It's funny. We call it, Monopoly face is what we call it here in our family. When you get a gift that you don't really like, but you're still trying to smile, and be thankful, but you're just not going to like it and use it. So there was one Christmas where, I had bought Ethan Junior Monopoly, and he likes animals and doggies and kittens. And that's what was on the Junior Monopoly board. So I bought it for him. I thought it'd be a fun game for everybody to play, right? So, these things I think are bothering me now. Okay, anyway. So he opens up the game, and I had it on video and on my phone, and he opens up the game. He starts opening it, and he notices what it is, and he doesn't even bother to finish unwrapping it. And he looks up at me, and I was like, "You like it?" And he was like the smile was like, it was like a half smile, half mom, why did you get this? So we were hysterical. Oh my gosh, we were all hysterical. Even Ethan was laughing at it. Sorry guys, I feel like I have one of these hairs on my nose. Anyway, so I know it's there. And I'm gonna look back at the video. I'm gonna see it, and then I'm gonna be like, Sandra, it was right there. Anyway, so from that Christmas on, we call it Monopoly face. So I tell all the kids, listen, when you open this gift, don't have a Monopoly face, okay? Okay? But that's how, that came about. But kind of telling you a lot of stories today, guys. It's Story Time Monday over here with Sandra. Okay. So Hello Kitty. So that's the third one. We'll see. You'll see too, because I'm going to be doing lots of Christmas videos. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Once my tree is up, okay, and everything is done, I do want to get a turquoise round, like, furry rug for the middle of the living room, just to kind of cover up some of this fucking carpet, because I'm so fucking pissed. And do you know that I actually spoke to one of the maintenance guys when they came to fix my stove? And I was talking about the carpets, and he's like, you are better off moving to another apartment here. That is more likely that to how you would get new flooring, because in other words, they ain't gonna fix this here. And I'm super pissed. So after the holidays, I'm gonna start getting to them again. It's kind of, you don't want to push and shove neither, because of the housing market and living situations all over the US right now, all over the world. But in the US, I mean, it's like there's so many people that need housing, and it's hard to get into other housing. So I kind of don't want to rock the boat, but at the same time, you got to speak up, so I'll start that after the holidays. But for the meantime, we're gonna shampoo it. I think I'm gonna rent a shampooer because we did that last year, and then I'm gonna get like a big area rug, to put in the middle in front of the tree. This way, it's a space for everybody to sit on and play a game or whatever during the holidays. Trains, I got a train for the tree, so it'll be a little nicer, and it'll brighten up the rug because my rug is brown, so it'll brighten it up in here. So I want to get that rug, but then I'm going to do a tour, guys. I'm going to do a Christmas tour. I can't wait. I can't wait to show you guys everything. I told Jason we got to get the stuff to make the cookies in November. I think I'm going to make a dough. Like I told him, I want to make whatever cookies we're making, okay, next month, which are definitely going to be the 3-color Italian cookies. But whatever cookies we're making, I told him I want to do double batch dough, because then we could freeze it. And then this way in December, we don't have to do all the prep again. We can just take out the dough, thaw it out, make the cookies, and that's that. Same with his mocha balls. A lot of the mocha balls is all crushed up in a lot of nuts, and nuts get expensive. So he says that around, I forgot when it is, but the local grocery store here, it's called Yolks. It's more of an upscale kind of thing, but they have baking sales. He said, like, kind of after Halloween going into Thanksgiving time, they have a lot of sales on butter, flour, sugar, eggs, vanilla, all that stuff that you need, food coloring and sprinkles and all that baking stuff all goes on a deep sale. He goes there every year to get that. So it's whenever that is, then we could do the cookie video. But I do want to do the tour video and go up close with my tree, show you all the ornaments. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Okay. All right. I'm getting way too ahead of myself. Sandra, it's not even Halloween yet. It's not even Halloween yet. Listen, I know. Okay. I'm skipping fall. If you want to watch about fall stuff, there's plenty of other channels that are doing all kinds of fall things, talking about autumn and whatever, all kinds of stuff. Fall, autumn, leaves, color, whatever they're doing. Pumpkins and all that shit. Okay. Not me. If you are one that doesn't like Halloween and you want to skip that shit and go straight over to Christmas, I'm your gal. All right, I'm here. I skip over that shit. My kids will go trick or treating, but I'm not into the Halloween. I don't decorate for Halloween. I don't do nothing. Okay. So yeah, I just skip over that. My tree on the calendar, I have it marked to go up on the 25th, which is not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. Now, I am trying, guys. I'm trying to hold out as long as I can. However, I had Jason take the tree out of the closet yesterday. And I told him, just stick it in the hallway for now. It's in the box. It's a huge tree, but just put it in the hallway. He says, are you sure you want this out already? It's just put it in the hallway. He says, you want to put it up? Because he'll put it up for me if I want. No, I said, I'm trying to wait. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to wait. So, now, no promises. It could go up this weekend. I don't know. Guys. I don't know. I mean, I'm really itching to get the tree up. I don't know. So we'll see. It might go up this weekend. I don't know. I'm trying hard to at least hold out to the 25th. Usually I wait till Halloween or the day after, but just want Halloween to be over with. Okay. Here we go. All right. So we have, why do I still have 3? Oh, okay. So now we're getting into Happy Mail. So Saturday, I believe it was Saturday, sent my son to the mailbox. Now I knew that Tina was sending me a couple of other things for Happy Mail. So she sent me, I don't know what they are, But she said that she was sending me a couple things from Amazon. Or I don't know if you said Amazon, but you said a couple things from the store. So this is from Tina over at Tina Talks. She just sent me that beautiful happy mail of all the knit stuff and everything. Go check out my past videos if you missed that. So Tina, thank you so much again. This is absolutely awesome. I love happy mail. I love opening happy mail. It makes me so happy. um, I wish I could just stand here and talk to you guys all day. I know, just until the kids come home anyway. You know, I joke around. I joke around a lot about my kids. And some, you know, some people, you got to have the same kind of sense of humor as I do. You know what I mean? Like, some people take it very seriously. Like, oh my God, you know, she doesn't want her kids home. She's always saying, oh, what, it's good when they go back to school and this and that. It's joking around. I love my kids dearly, and you know, they're kids. They're kids. They're gonna be kids. You know, you're gonna get aggravated. If you have kids, you're gonna be aggravated at some point, okay? Let's get real here, you know? But of course I love them. I love when they come home. You know, I'm always worried when they leave, you know, the whole shebang, you know. But I do like my alone time. I do like my mom time, my time away from all that chaos of trying to figure out, you know, who needs this, who needs that. Is it time to do this? Is it time to do that? What did you say? What did it? Okay, it could get very crazy with multiple kids. So you want your time. You know, listen, I don't understand how anybody has like, I don't know. I don't know. After 3, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kids. I watch some things on Instagram. These people have like 15 kids and counted. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like, why? You never could piss alone. That's for sure. I will tell you that off the bat. You could never take a shower alone. You could never have an alone phone call or go to the... Nothing. I could see as the older ones get older and they want to babysit, fine. But I feel that that's not fair to put the responsibility of younger children onto your older children. You know, I don't think that's fair either. But to each their own. To each their own. Okay, so we got the... Oh. Okay, so we got some, looks like Santas, okay? And there is a gift card here and a gift receipt. I'll say that it says, a gift for you, Merry Christmas, XOXO. Oh, Merry Christmas, Alice. Yeah, we're going to talk about Alice in a minute here, okay? Auntie Tina. Okay, thank you, Auntie Tina, and I'm sure that we're going to love this. So let's open this and see what it is exactly. I do see Santa's on it. So let's see. All right. Oh, this is so exciting. Christmas. See? You knew, Tina. You knew that I'm doing a Christmas video, didn't you? All right, Clark, you hold that. Oh, this is so cute. Okay, so it is newborn size. There's some tissue paper in there. Oh, this is cute. It's cute but huge, Tina. They say newborn. I don't know why. Who figures this is a newborn, but I think we're going to have to exchange it. Wow, that is not newborn. It's not. I know you ordered newborn. It says newborn. It's beautiful, Tina. I love this. It's absolutely beautiful. I love stripes. And I would definitely put this on somebody. I love the ruffle. I love this bib area. And then it has these 3 cute little Santas there with their little black nose and black eyes. And they got... well, Santa doesn't have black eyes. I hope not. And if it is, the reindeer must have kicked him or something. Either that or Mrs. Claus got really fucking mad. Maybe he ate all the cookies. But very cute. Very cute. I like it. It kind of reminds me of like licorice almost. I don't know why, but it does. Or jelly beans or something. But this is gorgeous. It has the ruffle at the top. Really nice material too. Too bad. This is really cute. It's really, really cute, but it's not going to fit. Not Alice or anyone. It might fit me, Tina. I might have to try it on. Yeah, right. Maybe when I was 2. Oh my gosh. Not even. I was a chunky girl. I was a chunky baby. Still am. But I was chubby. I was a chubby ballerina, if you could picture that. Cute. I wore a tutu and everything with my chubby legs. And it was so cute. But this is gorgeous. It really is. Thank you so much, Tina. I think, I'm gonna have to exchange it though. Maybe they have maybe they have a preemie size. I don't know. But now I'm gonna go and look. I'm gonna look and we'll just switch it out. Boom boom. Bada bing, bada boom. We'll switch it out. Um I'm hoping they have the same one because I really love this. I'm hoping they have the same one because that would be adorable. Adorable for Christmas. And I need holiday outfits for the girls. So this is for girl. Wait till you guys hear what I have to say. Wait. Just wait, okay? Stay tuned. All right, so there is a gift receipt here. So how do I do this? I don't know how. I've never gotten a gift like this with a gift receipt and then exchanged it. I guess I'll have to go to Amazon and figure it out later. I don't know. But thank you, Tina. It really is gorgeous. It just won't fit. It won't fit. I would keep it if it would fit somebody. Do I have somebody it would fit? I could use it on, maybe it would fit on the Behringer doll Snoopy, but I'd rather see if I could exchange it since it was, anyway. We have another package to open. Oh. Hope I didn't show my address there. Anyway, okay, so we have another bag to open. Let's see what is in here. All right. Happy now. Woohoo! This is a happy day. It is a very happy day. Okay, so first we have, let me take out these gift receipts. She sent, okay, so I'll read what it says. Okay, it says, a gift for you. Alice has to have a Cherry Kids pajamas, softest material ever, XOXO, Auntie Tina. Okay, Tina, let's see. Softest material ever, eh? Hey, I'm the queen of soft material here, so we'll see. I'll let you know, okay? All right, so let's see. Oh, nice packaging. Aww. At first I thought it was baby deer, but it's not. It's a rabbit. It's a bunny rabbit. All right, let's open this up. Oh, this one has a resealable bag. All right, this says Cherry Kids 0 to 1 month. Oh, so maybe. I've never heard of this brand before, Tina. So you are introducing me to something new. And if they do have the softest material, I will definitely be checking out more of their items. Is this a new line of clothes, or I've never heard of it, and maybe it's just an expensive line, something that I wouldn't be able to get. Maybe, I don't know. Never heard of them. Now, the tag is separate. I don't know if the tag is supposed to be, well, yeah, because there's nothing to hang it to, probably. Ooh, that smells good. That smells really good. Like they must have. Wow, that smells good. Okay. I never got something that smelled so good before, like from the actual store. Okay, so this says Cherry Kids. Oh, it's boutique. Okay, boutique. So it's probably pricey. Boutique. For the love of children, soft, comfortable, and breathable. So this is newborn baby romper rabbit. That's the name of it. It's a rabbit. It is organic cotton, 0 to 1 month. Oh, okay. And then it says shop Cherry Kids. Okay. So I'm assuming, yeah, that this is boutique is usually in. Okay. Oh, it has the tissue paper. All right, here we go. This is really soft. Wow. Okay, all right. It's really cute. It's really cute. It is big. It is big, but oh wait, can you tie that? Oh, wait. Maybe I spoke too soon. Hold on. I think you could make it. maybe smaller, I hope. This is beautiful. This is beautiful, Tina. And the bunny print. I love it. All right, so I think you could tie that. That made it, okay, that made it more. Wait, are you supposed to do that? Sandra, are you being an idiot here? What? And that's a snap. Why am I thinking that I can make it smaller somehow? They make it seem that way. Oh, wait, okay, wait. No, because then maybe if you loop it, can you? I don't know. I'll figure that out later. But I'm assuming because you can tie this, that there would be a way, you see what I'm saying, to make this up here a little smaller to kind of go with. I don't know. But the print, the fabric is very soft. It has fold over mittens. And then it has this beautiful bunny print. Get that, the bunnies. Oh, she's washing clothes? What is she doing? Is she washing clothes over there? Then you have two bunnies over here, or one in the bath. Oh, she's making a bath, maybe. I think that's what she's doing. It has the nice brown buttons in the bottom, and then it's a side snap tie, which I love, and it's really pretty. It's like very, very rich looking. The print and everything. This is gorgeous. And you know what I'm thinking, Tina? Because you can fold the arms and the feet, like if it was footed, it probably, I would say no. Let's just see something. I think if you fold, I'm not doing a good job of the folding, but you get my idea, is that if it's too long, I can fold it up, you know? It doesn't have to be like, oh, they put the tag on the outside. Why would they do that? Maybe, I guess it's not against the baby skin. I forgot these are for dolls, but for a real baby, I guess I would see why. But see, obviously they're not even. Please don't laugh at me, all right? You're probably already laughing at me over there. But you can fold the arm and the leg. You know what I'm saying? To make it shorter. So in that sense, it might work. So that, yeah, I could fix it up. And this is good. This would also work for a boy. Honestly, I would put this on a boy. So maybe I'll use that. Maybe I'll use this for Jack or Dominic. Actually, I'm gonna try it on one of them because they need a new outfit too. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna try it on them first and see what happens. Okay, because okay, so okay, Clark, can you? I'm gonna get this dirty. Clark, can you please hold this stuff for me, Clarky? Okay, can you hold this for Mama? Oh, I don't want to put the gift receipts in there. No. Because I don't want ink getting on there. Okay. So, 3 here. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm going to close that up because I don't want that to get... Okay, so, I'm going to grab Clark and I'm going to tell you a little story. That I am very hesitant to tell. But because this is Sandra's life, and this is part of what happened this weekend, I'm going to tell you. Now, what did I do with the other ones? I put in here like an asshole. Okay. Thank you, Tina. I love them both. They're both adorable. The red one, I am definitely going to go and see if they have a smaller size because I love that outfit. See if I could exchange it for a smaller size. And the other outfit, I'm going to try on Jack probably and see how it looks on him since he is the biggest doll I have. So, the reasoning is, okay, story time with Clark. Ready, Clark?
Oh, no, I want to hear this.
Okay. So as you all know, I had put eyelashes on Alice. Okay. Now, mind you, they weren't the ones that I wanted to originally put on her. But I used what I had at the time. Okay. They looked cute, but they looked too harsh for her, for a baby. Okay. So I ordered new ones. Now, I took off the old ones to put on the new ones. Mind you, I've never worked with, hold on one second. Okay, guys, Jason is home. So definitely I've been talking for a long time. But anyway, almost 2 hours I've been talking. So, told a lot of stories today, babe. Lots of stories.
Okay.
Yeah, there's story time all over the place. Anyway, I had to tell them about, how we watched the John Candy documentary, and then I had to tell them the story, of our honeymoon in Lake George and that guy wanting your autograph. So, okay, so I will say really quick that hubby knows how to treat me right. Look what he brought me home. Yay! Candy! Woohoo! It's almost Halloween. What?
Candy from the doctor.
Yeah. Hey, candy's candy, right? Okay. Except if it has nuts in it. No nuts.
Joy's got nuts.
I just suck around the nuts.
Yeah, right? You can spit them out.
Yeah. Okay, so story time. Okay, so where was that, guys? Oh, yeah. So, mind you, I've never worked with silicone glue before. I've never even tried to alter a silicone doll, okay? So I had placed the original lashes with the silicone glue. I shouldn't have done that, okay? Because I knew I was going to change them out, but I did it anyway. Then I put the new ones on, used more, but when I had taken the first pair off, it wasn't an exact, there were little tiny pieces of the silicone that stuck to the lash because of the silicone glue. But it didn't make enough. In other words, you couldn't see anything because it was under the lash. So it was fine. Okay. But there were little tiny pieces that had come off with the first lash. Okay. I'm getting a lot of breaking news about Carolina. I don't know if something's going on there right now or what. Anyway. So when I went to take this, can you make a pot of caramel coffee, please?
Yeah.
So when I went to take my eyebrows are so uneven. I just noticed that. We'll just cover them up. Anyway, there I go again, being hard on myself. Sandra, nobody's looking at your fucking lashes, okay? Or your eyebrows. Anyway, so I put the second pair on. Now, I had ordered a light brown pair, and Amazon sent me a dark brown pair, which were still lighter than the original ones I had put on her, and the strip was barely there. So in other words, the strip of the lash, it wasn't like this. It wasn't a harsh, thick, strip. It was hardly there. So I figured, okay, this is better. If this is better. I'm taking a breath here. So I went to, now I want to tell you first off that I already told the story to the person that sent it to me. So I don't want it to be like, oh my God, she's telling the story and the person's going to see. I already spoke to her. Okay. Anyway, so I went to take all right, so I put the second pair on with the silicone glue again, thinking that's what's staying. Okay. And I'm looking at her. From every which angle, looking at her. I'm like, something doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. One lash looks darker than the other. I think the placement of it was off. And while it did look better than the first pair, it still bothered me. It just did not look like baby lashes. It looked ridiculous, to be honest with you. It looked like mascara, just like Melanie told me. It looked like mascara. Okay, she said that about the first pair. But that was kind of in my mind because it did look that way still. The lashes were way too dark, and it wasn't feathery like a baby lash would be. It was very, just not right, and it was really bothering me, and I wasn't happy. And if I wasn't happy with it, then I wasn't going to play with her. She wasn't going to make me happy anymore because I had put these lashes on her that didn't match. My own fault. It was my own fault. My own fault, okay? So I said to myself, okay, I think she looks better with no lashes than this. At least she looked like a baby, okay? So I said, I'll just take these off because they bother me that bad. I'm going to take them off and then I'm going to find her a pair of correct lashes, but I'll just leave her without until I find that pair. So I took the tweezers, same method that I used the first time, took the tweezer and the little scissor, and I guess I must have cut too much in one area when I was pulling up the thing. I mean, I had my phone light. It was like surgery. Yeah. And so I was trying to do it really delicate, and then at one point, I guess the silicone glue was too stuck to the silicone itself, and when I went to pull up the lash, a big chunk came out. It was terrible. Okay.
It's funny.
Yeah, but it sucks. I'm barely drinking. It sucks. I don't like plain coffee. It didn't taste like pumpkin at all.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, so I tried my best, but then when I got to the second lash, it was happening again. It was like I guess, and then it kind of like the glue. I guess I didn't either I put too much and it came up over the eyelid, and then it was like crusty, and that I couldn't get off. I tried with alcohol. I tried acetone. I was trying all kinds of things. It wasn't coming off because I figured, okay, if I could. So I tried my best to put the lash. I didn't glue it, but I like kind of put the lash over the area to see, okay, if it would cover it. And it was just too far gone. It just, I was so upset with myself. I was beating myself up over it because I was like, oh my God, what am I going to tell this, this wonderful lady that sent me this doll, and now I can't show it because I'm too embarrassed. And, it was terrible. I all yesterday and this morning, and I was, telling Christina, what am I going to do? I'm so embarrassed. What am I going to say? The whole thing. And I was just being really, like Sandra is, so I was really like debating what to do, to the point where I was going to wait. I was going to wait till November and buy the same doll. I didn't know exactly what doll it was, but I mean the same face and silicone, same size. I was going to buy the doll on Amazon. I did find one for like, I don't know, $120, and there was another one for $150. I was going to buy it and then just move along like that was her. But something in my heart said, no, like, don't, like, you shouldn't do that. Just, right. Just be honest with her about it, and I was. And so this morning I went on Instagram and I wrote to her and I said, I explained the situation and I showed her a picture of the doll. And I was like, as as the bubbles are typing, as you see the bubbles before the text comes up, I was like, I was so scared because I felt like crap. I felt like a total disappointment. Like, oh my gosh, what is she going to say to me, but I was so surprised with the answer. And in that moment, my heart dropped to my stomach. I felt so like, it was just, I can't explain the feeling, but she said that, something to the effect of, don't worry about it. Things happen, don't worry. I'm going to send you another one. And I was like so taken back. I was like, wait a minute, what? And I was like, no. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do it. Like, I did this myself. Like, I fucked it up. It's my fault. And she was like, no. She's like, I'm going to send you another one. And then, she was asking me, what size, because she didn't have the same exact one. And she showed me a couple pictures. And, um, she was just so sweet. And so she didn't have, she had smaller ones. And so, long story short, um, I am expecting again. But this time I'm expecting twins. They are not the same kit. In fact, one of them is I believe she said 12 inches. The girl is 12 inches, so I'm expecting a 12-inch little girl, and she actually has clothes that go with her, so she's going to send the clothes with her. They're both silicone. So the 12-inch girl is painted, I believe, hand painted. And then the boy is preemie size, she said. So I'm guessing like 14 to 16 inches, something like that. And he is asleep. So it's an asleep boy and an awake little girl. So I am so super excited. I cannot tell you. I cannot thank this person enough. There's no words I could say. I just feel it in here, and I know she does too. So we'll leave it at that. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And this kind of stuff, it makes you believe again that there are really good people in this world, because there are so many things going on, so many crappy people, so many rude and mean people. And, you see that kind of taught me a lesson as well this morning, is that you should just be truthful. You should just say it, and whatever follows, but at least you did the right thing, right? Because that's what we teach our kids too.
Right.
So I set the example, and I was okay with, whatever was going to follow that, but at least I know I did the right thing, and my heart feels, right, that I did the right thing. Um, and again, such an unexpected response, such a beautiful and loving, response. And that was really, really great. It made me feel really, really good that I did the right thing. It made me feel really, really good with the answer. It was like a win-win, you know. So let that be a lesson to all of you. um, but yes, so I am so excited, very, very excited, expecting two new babies. And so this is kind of, I guess, my Christmas, birthday, whatever you want to call it, gifts. And they're so cute. Wait till you see them. Wait till you see them. They're so cute. They're so cute. So the boy is about his size, I would think. So he's going to have a little brother.
Sorry.
See what I mean? Once everybody starts coming in, piling in, I got all kinds of noise, but I know he's making me coffee, so I can't complain. Um, so he's gonna have a little brother and a little sister. So I guess I started looking on Amazon at like little baby, like 12-inch like dolly clothes. They have a bunch of them. I mean, I don't know why it is that the smaller the clothes get, the more expensive they are. I mean, I don't understand that at all. Like, it's less material, guys. I mean, why? So, I gotta look. I know a lot of people find outfits like that on Etsy, but I am not about to shop on Etsy, because that's another place that's super dangerous for me. I will not even go to Etsy, Temu, and AliExpress, any of those places. I will not even look upon, because even though, yes, you can find great deals, I will find great deals, but I'll find too many great deals. And then, so I can't do that, especially around this time of year. So I stay away from those places. So I'm not about to look on Etsy for clothes. I'm going to stick with Amazon. They have a decent selection, I would say, because they have for like, I think Bitty Baby from American Girl is the 12-inch size, if I'm not mistaken. But they do have some cute things, and, she said she comes with a couple of outfits, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get her a little Christmas dress if I can find one. I don't know. But it'll be fun. I never had a little one like that. So that'll be fun. Um yeah, so You know, thank you so much. I want to say again to Tina for my happy mail, and I will let you know what happens with that. But thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. And so I guess what I'm going to be doing is, I think for my next reborn, it's going to be a girl, a newborn girl, full limb, because I have all these clothes, beautiful clothes that I want to use, and now I can't. So I think I'm gonna look for a newborn size girl, full limb. Um, for I don't know, for my next doll, whenever my next reborn is. I don't know. I don't know. I gotta get Jack's computer. I gotta get Jack's computer first. Um, that yeah. So that's the first thing, and then we'll see what happens from there. I don't know. We'll see. But that would be really nice if I'm able to find that so I can use these clothes because the clothes are staying. I love the clothes. So that is staying in the drawer until I get my full limb newborn girl. And I will find one. Won't we, Clark? Yes, we will. Wow, you have a deep voice, Clark. So as always, go check out Cuddles by Christina. She did a nice story time last night. And go check out Amanda over at Wawa's Angels Nursery. And she just did a video. Yeah, I think this morning she put it out, but I watched it already. You got like lovely happy mail, Amanda. Love that mug. Love that giant coffee mug. And I know your daughter loved it too, because both of them, they're like, oh, they loved it. So you better watch, you better hang on to that, because they're going to grab that. That's what my kids do too. When I open things, like, oh, like if they see something they like, they're like, oh, and then I got to keep an eye out. So I would keep an eye on your mug. Beautiful candle and blanket. Everything was really beautiful. So that was really sweet, whoever sent that to you. And what else? I think I covered everything that I wanted to today. So what time is it, babe?
It is 1:45.
Ooh, okay, so I gotta hide some stuff. I have to find a big box. I don't think we have one yet. I have something that I do want to show you guys, but I'm not going to show you now because I bought the same thing for Christina, and I bought the same thing for someone else. And I don't want to say until because they're going to open it too, so I don't want to say. But so I don't want to show you guys yet, because then they'll see it, and I don't want to do that, ruin the surprise for them. But it's so cute. It's so cute. So once they open it, then I can show you. So yeah, in the comments below, what do you guys got to tell me? Don't forget. Should I get Danny the 4th figure to complete the set, or should I have him just wait and say, oh, I need this one? Should I get him the Pomni costume after Halloween and wrap it for Christmas? Or should I get him the Sonic lollipops that he's been asking for? Jason's like, lollipops. Why? Because you want some? And also about the rings. Did your mom or anybody teach you to wear your ring facing outward so people could see it? Or do you wear your ring facing inward so you're able to see it? That's another thing you got to let me know. And there was some other one earlier on in the video that I said leave your comments below. Oh, if anybody knows where I can find the game Sneaky Pete, okay, please let me know. I cannot find it. Me and my sister had a blast with that game on Christmas. I would love to find that again. It's probably out of production, I would think. But it was a really cool game.
Melbourne.
Yeah, that was a good one too. I was telling them Racco is good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melbourne is another good one. But I don't know if it's really good for kids. But I was saying I want to try Don't Break the Ice. We've never had that one. But I did find a really cool family game. It's called Our Family is Weird or something like that.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And it has like really cool things. Like you have to write down, like you pick a card and it says something. And then everybody has to write down who in the family do you think is most likely to do that.
Okay.
And then everybody puts their names out, I guess. I don't know.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, something different. What are you making now? Pumpkin something?
Cornbread fast.
Cornbread again. Why don't you try and make a pumpkin cornbread?
We don't have any pumpkin.
Oh, are you sure?
Positive.
We bought like 3 cans.
I know, we use them.
Ooh, last night we had some good birthday cake muffins. And Danny always likes... Danny likes to take his snacks. He's so cute. And he puts them in his room in a Ziploc. And sometimes he forgets what he has because he stashes everything. He's like a damn squirrel. Danny's like a chipmunk or a squirrel. Like, he stashes everything. But he likes to do that because then he'll come home after school and that'll be his after school snack. So he likes to do that. Like, if he's too full at night and he doesn't want to eat the dessert or whatever, then he'll store it. But then the other kid's like, oh, you know, you're going to eat that? You're going to... But so he knows to put it away in his room. I'm like, Danny, just put it in your drawer, put it away as long as it's in a Ziploc, you know, and you don't forget about it, you know, for weeks. But yeah, but those were good, and they're like the $1.25 muffin mix. They have all different types of muffins: chocolate chip, double chocolate chip, birthday cake, cranberry, blueberry. They have everything. And I forgot who makes them. What's the brand? Do you remember of the muffin mix?
No.
It's in the closet. Don't we have another set in the closet?
Hold on. I'm out of breath.
Okay, we'll take your time then. It's all right.
Martha
White, it's called. And it's just a powdered muffin mix. And how many does each one make? 6?
Yeah, I thought that's what I was
It makes about 6 muffins, each one. So we do 2 at a time, you know. But it makes 6 muffins. And all you have to add is milk.
Yeah, each one is a half cup of milk.
Each bag makes 6 muffins, and it's a half a cup of milk for each one. So for 2 of them, it's 1 cup of milk. That's it. No egg, no oil, no extra things, no butter, nothing. And that's why I buy these. They're cheap. They're good. They actually taste good. They're cheap. They're good. And they're cheap. Well, latecomers don't get any.
Yeah.
They're cheap. They taste good, and all you need is milk. So that's why they're really easy, simple, affordable, yummy. Okay, I think that's it for my video today. And thank you, Clark, for joining me, as always. I do still have Alice here in the stroller. I am not going to show you guys because it's pretty bad. And I don't want to scare you, okay? It's pretty bad. But so I feel really bad like throwing her out. I feel really bad throwing her out, but obviously it's not worth it to ship her I mean, nobody would want to pay for that to ship her anywhere anyway. So, I do feel like it's destroyed. The doll's destroyed. The doll is destroyed. I mean, I have her sitting there honestly with I feel so bad with a headband around her eyes, like she's blind. I feel so bad. I really do. Not anything like against blind people or nothing. I'm just saying, like, I can't see. My heart breaks looking at her with what I did. That I have to blindfold her. So for now she's staying there, but it is going to be heartbreaking when I have to put her in like a trash bag. It's going to be heartbreaking, but. Maybe I'll have Jason do it because I don't know if I could do it. Because she feels so real. That's the problem. But anyway, I see them getting nervous thinking of it. Or maybe I'll just keep her like with a blindfold for a little. I don't know. I don't know what to do with her. I really what?
Put a bag over it.
Put a bag. Get the hell out! You're so stupid. Oh my god! What, a Christmas bag? What am I gonna do? Anyway, so yeah. Don't forget to leave your comments below, and I am going to now go on Amazon after I take a long piss. I'm going to go on Amazon, and I'm going to look for the smaller size of this. I'm going to try that outfit on Jack. I'm going to put all of these Christmas gifts away, and have a Kit Kat. Just like me, fun-sized.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
Oh, you like that, huh?
You sure do.
Uh-oh, well, what are you going to do? I got 2 Kit Kats. Double the fun. Okay, guys. I'm going to go. I know I never want to leave you guys. I never want to leave you. Don't forget to comment below. Comment, subscribe, like, share. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. 900 subscribers. We do a giveaway. It's going to be fun. And then once my tree is up and everything's up, I'm going to do the Christmas tour of the living room. And then we're going to do the cookie video. I don't know exactly when, but I will keep you updated on that. Is whenever the bake sale is, you know, that Jason go pick up the stuff. And then when do they do the bake sale anyway? Is it November?
Ooh.
Yolks.
Yes, in November they put everything on sale.
All right. So yeah, in November.
Gotta stock up.
What, in the end or the what?
In the beginning or towards the middle.
Okay. So before Thanksgiving.
Before Thanksgiving.
Okay. So that's when we'll get the stuff on sale. What did they put? They put like sprinkles, nuts, everything, right? Butter and all.
Butter, everything.
Yeah. So that's when we have to grab it when it's on sale because baking stuff could get expensive. So yeah, especially sprinkles. Sprinkles are like
nuts.
Yeah, nuts, sprinkles.
Cheap nuts.
Cheap nuts. We got to get some cheap nuts. All right, guys. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you soon. I don't know exactly when, but soon. And I don't know when my babies will be here, but of course I will open them and share them with you, and I'm so excited for that. And I'm going to be looking for little clothes on Amazon, so I will add some to my wish list. Don't forget, my wish list is always attached in the description below if you would like to send me some happy mail or birthday mail or Christmas mail or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you next time on Little Meatballs Nursery. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.